brand among stars like Jamie Foxx, Ashley Benson, Haley Steinfeld.
So you got 2 pairs of Privé Revaux glasses exclusively from America's Best, including a free exam for just $89.95.
Right? Can I?
Fine.
Nice smile.
I'll try. 2 pairs for $89.95. Includes a free exam. It's not just a better deal, it's America's Best. Am I smiling?
The world, as you know, mourning the loss of a basketball icon, Kobe Bryant. Breaking new details on the helicopter crash that killed 5-time NBA champ Kobe Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, and 7 others on board on the way to a basketball tournament in California.
South of 101 helicopter went down.
The chopper crashing in the fog. The news shocking fans, family, and friends. Now the NTSB and FBI on the scene investigating. We're there live.
The NBA champion's tragic death stunning the sports world. Players and coaches and fans paying tribute to one of the game's all-time greats. So many remembering his contributions on the court and off as a champion.
Is it what you dreamed of? Oh, it's everything and more. I mean, you have the Laker colors falling from the ceiling, the fans going crazy. I got the hat on and everything covering my throat. That feels great.
An Oscar winner and a family man, so dedicated to his 4 daughters. This morning, some of the people who knew him best join us live to celebrate his life.
Mamba out.
Also this morning, a bombshell in the impeachment trial of President Trump. The stunning new report about John Bolton directly contradicts Trump's defense, claiming the president tied Ukraine aid to a Biden investigation. Will Bolton now be called by the Senate?
Coronavirus emergency. The number of cases climbing to 5 in the U.S., nearly 3,000 around the globe, as officials warn the virus may be more contagious than they thought and can spread before you show symptoms.
Billie Eilish and her hit song sweeping the Grammys.
Thank you.
As music's biggest night joins the rest of the world honoring Kobe.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
And we appreciate you being with us on this Monday morning. It's like we all need a collective hug as we continue to pay tribute to the life and legacy of Kobe Bryant. He and his daughter among the 9 that were killed in that helicopter crash.
They honored Kobe at the Grammys last night, which was held in the Staples Center. Kobe's home for so many years with the Lakers, his 2 jerseys lit up, and outside, thousands of fans gathered to honor him throughout the night.
And millions honoring him around the world. Memorials growing all across the country. See buildings light up in that purple and gold from Madison Square Garden here in New York to Los Angeles. And let's take a live look at the memorial at his high school near Philadelphia, where he became a star.
He certainly did. We're going to have much more on his legacy in a moment, but first we have new reporting on that devastating crash. TJ Holmes starts us off near the scene of the crash in California with the latest. Good morning, TJ.
Robin, good morning. And there are a number of families in pain this morning after that crash here in this neighborhood, in the hills in this neighborhood behind me, that killed 9 people. But in particular, the loss of Kobe Bryant is hitting the LA community, the NBA community, the sports world, and in fact, people all over the world really, really hard. People are in disbelief that this global and cultural icon could be gone.
Shock and heartache around the world at the news. Kobe Bryant, dead at 41 years old, killed Sunday when the helicopter he was in crashed in the hills of Calabasas, California. Also on board, his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and 7 others, on their way to Kobe's Mamba Sports Academy in Newbury Park for Gianna's basketball game. Kobe was expected to coach. This photo was taken at the gym filled with kids who'd been awaiting Kobe's arrival. They kneeled on the court upon hearing the news. Kobe's helicopter took off from Orange County just after 9 a.m. for what was expected to be a short trip. But at 9:45 a.m., tragedy. The helicopter crashed into the foggy hills.
Visibility 2.5 miles with haze, ceiling 1,100 overcast, temperature 122.8.
Before the crash, the LAPD grounded all police helicopters, saying weather conditions did not meet the standard for flight, though it's unclear if weather played any role in the crash. We are learning this morning there was an unusual rapid loss of altitude and increase in airspeed seconds before the crash. The NTSB and the FBI are both at the crash site investigating. Kobe often used helicopters to get around L.A. Here he is in 2016, even regularly taking his own helicopter to home games during the NBA season.
He loved being in that helicopter. He certainly was never really concerned about it. For him to be gone, particularly through these means, is incredibly tragic.
Just weeks ago, Kobe and Gianna, known as Gigi, were spotted at a Brooklyn Nets game having a father-daughter courtside moment that went viral.
I love this.
Fans showed love for Kobe at the Staples Center, and tributes continue to pour in for the man his fans lovingly call the Black Mamba.
Kobe Bryant has hit a shot at the buzzer!
Former teammate Shaquille O'Neal tweeting, "There's no words to express the pain I'm going through with this tragedy of losing my niece, Gigi, and my brother. I'm sick right now." And Magic Johnson called Kobe the greatest Laker of all time. During Sunday's games, players paid tribute, many of them holding back tears. The San Antonio Spurs and the Toronto Raptors among many of the teams who took a 24-second violation at the start of the game to honor Kobe, who famously wore number 24. The NFL Pro Bowl also quickly turned into a tribute. One of the greatest to ever take the court, the proud father of 4 daughters transcended sports, telling me he wanted a legacy beyond basketball.
That's been what we do. That's not who we are. We've all been something more outside of our craft. And we look forward to continuing to grow and continuing to evolve as people.
And no doubt weather will be a part of the investigation. And in fact, in a lot of ways, guys, we saw so much of Kobe Bryant. We didn't lose him in the prime of his career, but to many people, it feels like we lost him in the prime of his life. He had so many other ventures. We talk about the Oscar as a best-selling author, and it seemed like he was just getting started in a lot of ways.
In so many ways. TJ, thank you.
So many ways, you guys. And as we've seen, tributes for Kobe Bryant are pouring in. The news of his death stunning so many fans and friends. Chris Conley is at Staples Center in Los Angeles, where thousands have been gathering all through the night. Good morning, Chris.
And good morning, Michael. And it remains a heartbreaking moment for fans of Kobe Bryant. Outside Staples Center, where Kobe had so many magnificent moments, fans began gathering as of yesterday, bearing flowers to honor the life and the career of Kobe Bryant.
Bryant on the move with the jumper.
He was the basketball prodigy whose skills and self-confidence helped propel the Los Angeles Lakers to 5 NBA championships.
Is it what you dreamed of, or is everything and more? I mean, you have the Laker colors falling from the ceiling and fans going crazy.
Kobe Bryant labeled himself the Black Mamba, capable of striking with speed and precision.
What did I just see? Kobe, Kobe, Kobe.
But from the start, it was his charisma and personal magnetism that made him a star. Raised in Italy, where his father was playing basketball, Bryant played his high school hoops in a Philadelphia suburb.
I have decided to skip college and take my talent to the NBA.
Drafted when he was still just 17 years old.
Kobe Bryant from Lower Merion High School in Pennsylvania.
Immediately traded to the Lakers.
Outstanding.
2 years later, he was already an all-star, joining with then-teammate Shaquille O'Neal, as the Lakers would win 3 consecutive titles in the early 2000s. Kobe becoming a beloved figure in L.A. and throughout the basketball world. During his prolific career, the 18-time NBA All-Star set the bar higher and higher.
Kobe Bryant.
Twice named NBA Finals MVP.
And this really feels like a dream. I mean, it doesn't even feel real right now. It's unbelievable.
Kobe also winning 2 Olympic gold medals with the U.S. men's team. In 2006, Kobe scoring 81 points in a single game, second highest in NBA history.
81-point game. I couldn't even dream of this when I was a kid.
But his life in the public eye was not without its lows. In 2003, he was accused of sexual assault by an employee of a hotel in Colorado, where he was receiving treatment for his knee. Charged with a felony, Bryant maintained his innocence. In 2004, after the charges were dropped, Bryant apologized publicly to his accuser. Through it all, his wife Vanessa remained by his side, the couple becoming parents to 4 daughters, including 13-year-old Gianna, affectionately called Gigi by her father, the two bonding over their mutual love of basketball.
Dear basketball, I fell in love with you. A love so deep, I gave you my all.
After his retirement from the game, his career blossomed once again, this time in Hollywood.
Glenn Keane and Kobe!
Kobe winning an Academy Award in 2018 for his animated short, Dear Basketball, a love letter to the sport he played so brilliantly.
As basketball players, we're really supposed to shut up and dribble, but I'm glad we can do a little bit more than that.
Until the end, Kobe's grit and determination was unmatched. In his final game as a Laker in 2016, he defied the calendar by pouring in 60 points, an unheard of achievement for a retiring player, and a fitting conclusion to a career that was every bit as spectacular.
To be drafted and then traded to this organization and to spend 20 years here, I mean, you can't write something better than this. Mamba out.
Kobe always with such a flair for the big moment. It's just astonishing to think that that remarkable voice has been stilled forever. Guys?
What a life and impact he had, Chris. Thank you so much for that. And joining us now from Los Angeles, NBA Hall of Famer Scottie Pippen and Kobe's former teammate Derek Fisher, the head coach for the LA Sparks.
And
Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, and we're going to start first with you, Derek. You and Kobe drafted in the same year, playing for the Lakers all those years, 5 championships. Tell us, what was it like sharing the court with Kobe?
Well, first I want to send my thoughts and my heart, my family's heart, to Vanessa and the girls and their family, the families of the passengers, and such a heartbreaking day yesterday. Sharing the court, a workspace, a life for 13 years with Kobe was a gift. It was a blessing to be able to watch someone on a daily basis strive to be the best at what they do, to be the best in the world at what they do. That's who he was and always will be to me. And that example is hard to explain to others, to be able to see that on a daily basis. And my heart just hurts for his family and for the fact that he's no longer with us.
We share that with you, Derek. What do you want people to know about Kobe off the court? You spent so much time with him. You were there through thick and thin. What was he like off the court that you want people to know?
Well, I think there are, as with all humans, there are different versions of us as we grow and evolve. And to be with Kobe from his rookie year in 1996 to the Kobe in 2004 to the Kobe in 2010, his evolution as a husband and as a father and as a man that wanted to impact the community beyond basketball, to think about what he has been committing himself to in terms of young girls and women in the sport of basketball. That's what I want people to remember. I want us to continue to push for what he was most recently striving for in terms of equity and opportunity for young girls, for girls like his daughters that are still with us, for girls like my daughters, for women to come. He didn't just talk about those things, he lived it. Very similar to what he did on the court. He didn't talk about being great, he worked at it every day. And that's what I want people to remember about his life off the court as well.
Well said. I know you're also the coach of the LA Sparks of the WNBA, and Kobe was a huge, huge supporter, brought Gianna to the games, was looking forward to her playing in the league one day. So, Derek, thank you so much for your thoughts and insights. And we're going to go now to Scottie. And Scottie, okay, you guys were rivals on the court, but you and so many, you said you had great respect for him. Tell us about that respect.
Well, looking back at Kobe in 1996, I was in the prime of my career and had an opportunity to watch a young man's career for 20 years, to watch him blossom season after season, to rise to the top. to be able to take the torch and really carry our league for 20 years. And, you know, Kobe was a special player because we watched him come out of high school as a very raw, charismatic player. And he developed into, in my eye, one of the greatest players that I've ever watched on a basketball court. He had it from his style on the court as well as off the court. His competitive fire was unmatched. And, you know, for me, I look back at Kobe and I watch his growth and development. He was one of those players that idolized Michael Jordan, but he mimicked Michael Jordan in a lot of ways. And it was a guy that, you know, I watched him watch films on one of the greatest players that ever played the game, and he emulated his game to the T. And to some degree overcame all of his weaknesses and became, to me, one of the greatest players to ever play the game.
And Scotty,
I've heard a few players even say it. Kobe Bryant had no weakness in his basketball game.
And Scotty,
he worked hard at everything, and he became great at every part of his game.
And Scotty, you mentioned your teammate, Michael Jordan, who you played with for many years. You played against Kobe, as we all know, but how would you compare the two legends?
Wow. Very close. Two of the most charismatic players that I've ever seen in the game. Iconic. Those guys really set the bar in terms of guys that could play, two-way players, played hard on both ends of the court. Kobe wanted to be known as the greatest player to ever play the game. I mean, he wanted to be better than Michael Jordan. He wanted people to realize that he was right there and that he put in the work to let you know that, you know, he is one of the greats.
All right, Scotty, thank you so much. Derek, thank you as well. We really appreciate you guys sharing your thoughts on Kobe. And thank you so much for your time this morning.
And we're going to have a lot more on Kobe coming up. But now we do turn to Washington and that bombshell report upending the impeachment trial of President Trump. The New York Times reporting on the draft of former National Security Advisor John Bolton's new book, in which this key witness sought by Democrats claims that Trump told him aid to Ukraine was tied to investigations into Joe Biden and other Democrats, directly contradicting a core plank of the president's defense. Chief White House correspondent John Carl is tracking this breaking news.
President Trump's former National Security Advisor John Bolton is the witness Democrats want to testify in the Senate trial more than any other. The report overnight in the New York Times shows just how key he may be to the case against the president. 4 weeks ago, Bolton submitted the manuscript of a book he has written to the White House for a standard review to ensure it does not include any classified information. According to the Times, Bolton writes, President Trump told him in August that he wanted to continue withholding military aid to Ukraine until officials there launched investigations into Trump's rivals, including Joe Biden. This first-hand account directly contradicts what the president's lawyers argued in defending him during the Senate trial just this weekend.
There is simply no evidence anywhere that President Trump ever linked security assistance to any investigations.
President Trump denied the claims overnight, tweeting, quote, I never told John Bolton that the aid to Ukraine was tied to investigations into Democrats.
Thanks to John for that. We're, of course, going to have live coverage of the Senate trial starting at 1 Eastern right here on ABC. Now, let's go to Ginger.
And, George, let's get straight to the Select Cities, brought to you by CarMax.
You'd do anything to get rid of this car. But who'd buy it with a CD changer that's stuck playing Limp Bizkit over and over and over?
Like a chump, like a chump, like a chump.
Just sell it to CarMax. We'll buy any car, even this one, because that's the way it should be. CarMax.
Temperatures this morning starting out around freezing to just above freezing. But on this Monday, wow, we're going to warm very quickly, close to 50 degrees during the afternoon hours, most neighborhoods. And then even this evening, not bad at 40 to 45 degrees. Tomorrow